Hi guys, welcome back to K-pop Talks. I'm your host, and today we're gonna do our classic weekly K-pop recap. I think this is number 30, if I'm not mistaken, or number 29. I'd have to check, and it's gonna include the first 10 days of November. I was kind of busy with college this last week and a half. Also, I was sick these last 2 days. I'm still kind of sick right now, so I'm gonna be probably a little bit lower voice and stuff like that. But which I am because I only shoot videos at night. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. There is quite a bit of music. There's like 20-ish songs to talk about, so let's just get right into it immediately. First song is Joy with Phobia. Joy, I've heard stuff from them in the past. This I think they're 6-7 singles, if I'm not mistaken. I think they've been around for like 1 or 2 years, and it's a fine song. I think this song suffers from what a lot of the songs in this video will suffer from, which is a very simple production. And in the industry now, we have thousands of comebacks, and a lot of them not a lot of them, but a good amount tend to stay around. You know, you have to like make yourself stand out. I don't think Joe really did that with this song, but I have to say the chorus is very catchy. That's definitely an aspect, and I think it seems also to be mixed and engineered good in a way that it doesn't sound. The production doesn't like overbear the entire track, but I wish they went a little bit with more creative side. At this point, they're somewhat of an established group, so I think they can take a little bit more risks in that sense. But that's probably the hardest thing K-pop right now to really be able to push. Next, you have Narin with RBG Shine, a great song. A really, really good song. 3 vocalists, all amazing, all with very distinctive voices. A cool style that you don't really see a lot in Korea. Actually, I think there's 4 of them, where they fuse this kind of like classic Korean style with an R&B, with more of a modern production, with just great vocals, super catchy as hell, super catchy chorus, and just amazing to listen to. This is a song that I've really enjoyed a lot. I'd have to check if they have a project and check it out from this year or last year and see how it is, because this song really impressed me, and I'm not a guy who gets easily impressed by artists that I haven't heard, but these guys are really, really good. Definitely go and check them out. Their name is Narin, okay, and the song's called RPG Shine. Next, we have Eternity with GN, which I don't know what that means, not gonna lie. But yeah, the song is really good. It's super catchy. It has this kind of futuristic production that makes it stand out compared to the other groups in this video, and kind of like electronic pop, K-pop, and they do it pretty good. And it's fun, and the chorus is great. It's catchy as hell. It's a fun song to listen to. Now, I didn't know this group before. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna act like I was the biggest fan or anything. I had no idea who the hell these girls were. But I mean, the song is really, really good and makes me want to check their future stuff, honestly, because it's not that I'm impressed in an incredible manner, but I didn't know who they were, and if they make good music like this all the time, I think that's a good thing, and I would like to add them on my rotation if possible. Next, we have Goopy with Are We Still in Love? No idea who Goopy was before this song. I think he's a fine singer. He does a good job on the chorus. It's just that the production is overly simple. It's the classic kind of like laid back song with a simple production. It's just that it has no personality in that aspect. His vocals also are not that crazy or interesting that enhance the song. It's not a bad listen. I just think that in the like the ocean of average songs these last couple of months, he doesn't stand out in any way. But he's a smaller artist. He's probably doing things the way he can. Honestly, I think he's doing them pretty good for what he has. Also enjoy the video of him being this little trip in America. I think maybe Cali or Nevada, and what the fuck was that? And like exploring like the kind of like the country or whatever on with a small team, which seems really cool. So yeah. The Big Dipper with Whatever You Are. Solid ballad in my opinion. Production wise, it's your classic K-pop ballad. The vocals are not the best, I have to say, but it has good feeling. I think there's the emotion there, and I think on top of the emotions, one thing they also do good is the chorus. The chorus stays there, it's hard hitting, and I think for a ballad overall, it's enjoyable. They're also a very small group. It seems like they do things for like independently, and again, for what they did, for what they have, I think they did a decent job, honestly. Next we have Sai with Talk to Me Nice. Great song, one of the standouts of the last 3 or 4 months, in my opinion. Great concept, great production. I love the 50s and 60s aesthetic, the jazz influence, the blues influence, and the classic R&B. She fused them all together, and great storytelling as well through the video. Great lyrics, it's refreshing to see in K-pop. Now I think I've heard of Say, but I don't know if I was thinking about it. I don't know if I heard music from the past. I probably did. I just don't remember because my memory is kind of shit. But yeah, I mean, it's rare to see like I was saying, it's rare to see a concept in K-pop that is carried throughout a song and makes sense. The lyrics actually tell a story. It's refreshing, makes sense to see, and it's actually getting the numbers, which is also, I think, a pretty good thing overall. Next we have Park Bom with Remembered. Now I don't know if this is an OST or something. I have no idea, but it's pretty good. I think obviously Park Bom is one of the best singers in K-pop history. The production is simple yet effective, and Park Bom obviously carries the song to her amazing vocals and her amazing performance as always. Good the video as well. I think it tells a nice story that carries with the song pretty good. And yeah, I think overall it's a good song by Park Bom, who, again, I always hope she can make it, but this generation of K-pop is not for her. It's just the reality. She just wants to make music and enjoy her life. If you want to be super popular in K-pop now, you have to do all the mainstream things, and I don't think Park Bom really cares because she's one of the most popular idols of all time. She doesn't need that anymore, and I'm happy for her. If she's good mentally, that's the most important thing, because she went through a lot of shit, and it was nice to see her also on stage with the other members from 21 on, I think, Coachella. She was nervous, but she was there and she was active. So, I think this is a great emotional song. If you're the type of person who likes to listen to sad songs, Park Bom Remembered is one of the best ones I think I've heard in the last 2 or 3 months as well. Next, we have Stray Kids with Give Me Your TMI. Classic B-side by Stray Kids in every way. Production-wise, sonically, vocally, lyrically, chorus-wise, it's the same thing they normally do in these albums. It's a B-side. It's supposed to just normally send you from one track to the other. It's a way to get 8, 6, 10 tracks, whatever they have to go, maybe contractually or whatever, to drop an EP. Again, it's not a bad song, but I think Stray Kids has at this point produced in the last 4 years something like probably 100+ songs that sound like this. So I wish they do. I mean, 100 is too much, but definitely 50 or 60, maybe even 70. So you wish they'd normally try something different, because at this point they'll sell regardless, and there's enough talent production. We saw it early on in their career where they risked way more because they wanted to get established. They tried different things, and now they're established, they're following the trend, and probably in their mind it was also the idea that, well, it's the fans like what we do, so let's just keep doing it, which on an aspect of things I can understand. But on the other side, as I say every time, it's always important to actually try to do different things, especially if you have the talent, because you can sell as much as you want, but if you want your music to stay for like 10-15 years, I question all the time, is it God's menu? But it's been already 2 years, I think, that I think Stray Kids released like an iconic song, not even an amazing song, an iconic song, right? I still to this day think that My Pace is their best single, because it's so different, it's so fun. They've never tried to do something like this ever again, but it was so original in its style, in its the way they approached the song. They made the song huge at the time and made Stray Kids, I think, in what they are today, in my opinion. Next we have Inazaka 46. We have some J-pop here with Ororeru Midnight, I think, right? Or Orero Midnight. And I don't remember who's the center of this song. I think it's Saito Kyoko, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't remember seeing the Senbatsu at all. Maybe it's like one of the last episodes of the show that they do weekly, which I don't remember. Maybe they did, and I don't remember. But yeah, the song is classic Inazaka, it's kind of like medley feel to it, kind of like musical feel to it, but it's a fun listen. Like most Inazaka songs, I think they're enjoyable to listen through, and obviously those always have meaning. I always like how, if you compare them to even Sakurazaka, but even Sakurazaka does this, and in the past Kyakezaka did this a lot of like open landscapes, kind of like in the middle of nowhere. I always enjoy this aesthetic, and it's fun because Inazaka, a lot of their early music videos were in the city, but now they're moving kind of away from that, which I think is very interesting, and they're doing it more like in the nature, which is something Sakurazaka actually doesn't. They've done it only in the landscape, and I would be minding seeing them do things in the city as well. But the song is very enjoyable, and if you read the lyrics, actually they're pretty good as always. One thing integrates to Inata Zaka, Sakura Zaka in the past, also known as Kiyaki Zaka. Maybe Nogi Zaka a little bit less, even though they've been doing it more and more the last 3 or 4 years. But they're groups that always put some meaning in their song, right? It's never just always just drop a song randomly. Even if it's fickle, they've always put meaning in it, right? And I wish, K-pop groups did that a little bit more often. In fact, because they never do it. That's the only thing. But yeah, overall enjoyable song and a really pretty music video. Next, Legends. They're back after I don't know how long. Highlight with Alone. Now I don't know if I'm mistaken. Highlight had a comeback this year. Was it this year? I think it was this year. I think very early during the year they had a comeback, but they didn't do so good. Maybe, or maybe it was last year. I don't remember. But this song is actually good. This song is highlighted in every way. This personality. It's elegant. It's sexy. It's obviously a group that has been in the genre for so long. They don't feel the need to trend chase. The numbers are there, and it's mostly from Korea, so they're still very beloved in their own country, and it's obviously a quality song. I think the chorus is not bad. I think it's enjoyable, but I found the rest of the track overall to be way more memorable. And again, great performance by all the guys. There's only 4 of them at this point, but at least they're still active and doing what they love, which is at the end of the day when it matters. And K-pop now allows them to do that. If this was 2013, they would have disbanded already, and they would have moved on to do other things in their career because the industry itself would have allowed you. But now K-pop is so broad that you can do your own thing and make music and do other things and make good money without being the biggest group in your country or one of the biggest ones. So overall, a very enjoyable track, to me at least. Next we have Hio with Destiny or Challenge, another Hio song that I've enjoyed. Again, she's a good performer, she has a lot of energy, she has personality, and this is one of her most fun tracks for me at least, and I've enjoyed this quite a bit. Again, the production is very, very basic, but it compensates by her performance, and overall I think a pretty catchy tune in general. Next we have Nature with Limbo. I question if the person that produced and wrote this song was supposed to give this song to Dreamcatcher, because it sounds a lot like what Dreamcatcher has been doing the last 3 or 4 years, which is this very kind of aggressive EDM / rock sound. So I question if this song was supposed to go to Dreamcatcher and said, let's just give it to Nature. Because if that's the case, it would be cool, but it's just interesting because it sounds like a Dreamcatcher song, not because it's a negative. I think they perform it well, it's fun to listen to, it's super paced, which is very, very different from what normally Nature does, and I think it's overall a different change of style. Now, I don't know in terms of number, it has like a couple of million views. Nature is not the biggest group in the country, but hopefully it will receive them trying to do something different. I think they do it pretty fun and pretty fine as well. So yeah, I don't really have more complaints. If it's not for the fact that production, again, I've heard these type of productions so much that they just breeze. They come from one ear, they go out of the other ear. That's the problem for me. Next, you have Lim Kim with Veil. Lim Kim is back after I think almost 2 years. I know she had a comeback last year. I don't know if it was this year or last year, but some time ago at this point. And this is a great song. It's definitely different from the stuff she's done in the past. It's super laid back, kind of this super distorted, kind of like vocals that sound like a ghost. She does a great job performance-wise, and it's a very, very enjoyable listen. I hope this is a good sign for the album or EP that is about to come, and I've always wished that she's more active, but I think she's also said that as much as she likes doing music, she also wants to do other things. I think she's also an actress and a model, so obviously she has other interests, but when it comes to music, she's interesting. She's one of the more interesting K-pop artists. I don't even call it K-pop, but K-pop artists in Korea for sure, 100%. It's not even close. Next we have New Kids with Victory. Simple song, simple production, simple lyrics, simple concept, a simple music video, a small K-pop group that is trying to make it, and they're not overly pretentious with it. They're not trying to show you they have money, It's overall, I think, a decent production in my opinion. It's not one of my favorites, but like I say, I tend to be less negative towards like smaller groups because they have less resources, and they're trying to make it big. Therefore, they'll always try to go over mainstream with their sound. But I don't mind it. It's definitely an enjoyable track. It's just that, again, this is the 4th, 5th track in this video that sounds like this. That's all I'm saying. You are with Melody. I have to say something. I always forget the name of their company. I think it's Fantasia, if I'm not mistaken. I don't fucking remember. But bro, it's Wally. Of course, it's Wally. How many did I forgot? But they always do a great job with their singles. They always pick the right things, the right sounds, and this song is really, really good. Dope production, amazing vocal performance, really, really good chorus, great music video. It's clear to me that Wolim and Yuhan know exactly who they are when it comes to promoting her, making her music in a way that really makes her stand out. This is how you promote your single artist. You're not gonna get the 100 million views, 200, 300 that Rose gets, or like 500 Lisa gets. You're never gonna be that popular. But if you be yourself and you really make original good music, or different music, not say original but different, and you stand out, and it's good, it's always gonna be better to me. One of the best singles I've heard all year, really. I'm really, really impressed by Yuva, who hasn't missed anything yet, in my opinion. She's been amazing.
Let's keep going with Vivid's Ram Pam Pam. Pretty good song. Smart Use a famous name song, because if you want to search that, your song will come out pretty smart, and it has one less pam in the title. So this is pretty smart. The song itself, I think, is pretty much fine as well. Like, I feel like this is not truly like what I would expect from XG friend members, but it's a good thing. That means they're trying to do different things. They don't want to be being held up to their past glory and past, examples of stuff they've done. They're a different group with different name, a different company, and therefore they approach with a different style. Overall, I thought the production was fine. I was really enjoying it personally. I think it worked for what they were doing, and on top of that, I also felt the vocals by the girl really good. The chorus doesn't stand out; it's pretty basic in itself, but again, it's one of the few examples where even though the chorus is not that great as a single, it still works as a song as a whole, and it's pretty much very enjoyable. Now, I prefer the stuff Vivid has done before. I think it was better because it was a debut and stuff like that. But I expect a lot from Vivid from next year. They're a smart group. They're veterans. They've been around everything. They've sold millions. They're gonna be fine to do whatever they want. And it's clear this is more a thing for them where I assume they don't care about becoming the biggest group in Korea. They're pretty much stable. They will be stable. I think in 2 years they'll be pretty much like a pretty popular group, and they'll be their own thing, similar to Mamamoo, but a little bit less in that sense. But I say all that as overall a fine song in my opinion. Next we have Treasure with Volcano. This is something completely different from Treasure. Sounds more of a Stray Kids track in that sense. Aggressive beat, aggressive rapping. The rapping here is pretty good. Treasure, I think it has good rappers, but sometimes they get put in awkward situations with their singles. This single allows them to, stand out a little bit more, and it's a fun song. It seems like the pace of it is good. It's not too fast, where it could be too much, and I think the song doesn't feel like it goes on to the point of overly repetitiveness, and it makes you feel kind of like, oh, you're maybe even overwhelmed to a certain extent. The music video is a little bit too edgy for my taste. Like the grills and the kind of like Mad Max aesthetic they were going for, which I think it was fine. But I'm a believer. I want to see a sober K-pop music videos from one of these like edgy K-pop groups, just them in a room and rapping and singing. Something very simple, even just to kind of cut out, from the same stuff we see every time. That's the thing for me, at least. Next we have Jugjae Runaway, one of the most underrated, I think, artists in Korea. I think barely known outside of Korea, really. From the English famous, I don't think most people know even exists. But I really like this. Sounds and feels like a early mid 90s alternative music, with the production and the instrumentals and his vocals and the chorus and the ambience and the feel of the song. But also give him credit because he performs it very well. It stuck in your head. For me personally, hearing a lot of these songs in this playlist from like 2 or 3 times, this song really stands out to me a lot. It's something that I really enjoy, not just because it's different, but it feels a little bit more authentic. It doesn't feel like he's really trying to chase anything specifically. He's in his own lane, and for being in his own lane, similar to the Volunteer, he seems to be doing pretty good for himself. So Jugjae again with a great single, which I know he's gonna drop another one I think probably tomorrow actually. So I'm definitely curious to see what he's gonna do. Next we have Kraxi with Poison Rose. It's overall a good song. The production actually is pretty different from the stuff I've heard in the past from them. It's like it's not drastically different, but it's more like direct and straight to the point. I feel like where before Kraxi was trying different concepts and trying to like do different type of music. Here they went with something more simple, direct, hard hitting, with a pretty hard hitting chorus overall. So while it doesn't make them stand out as much, it's overall a quality song. You know, I don't mind it personally, but in this like ocean of samey songs, I still prefer when Kraxi does more interesting concepts, even if they're less appealing. 17 with Dream. It's an enjoyable track. I don't find it to be overly interesting. At least it's fine to do something a little bit different, more R&B-ish, a little bit more like smooth, you know, a little bit more elegant. I just don't think it really fits them. Because I know the guys, I've heard them talk, I know their interests. Like, Uzi is the one who produces for the most part. I don't think he really discusses with others, because I remember they were saying in a show where, I mean, he chose stuff and we just do it, which I think is a fine idea. Maybe it gives us beats and, you know, productions, and we just write stuff over it, which is good. You know, it's fine. I think everybody makes a little bit of extra money, but yeah, I wouldn't say I'm particularly impressed, because this type of stuff 17 does a lot on their B side, you know. So I wished it was gonna be a little bit different, but at least give them credit. They've tried something different, you know. They tried to say, look at the fans, we also do these things on our albums that you guys don't listen, but you just buy for our photo books in them and our pictures and our little cards of ourselves. But if you do, there's a lot of stuff like this, which is not a negative thing. I just think it's interesting they went with this as at least something they're promoting a little bit and pushing as an actual song. So next we have 9i with Young Boy. I needed to re-listen to the song for a couple seconds because I forgot it. But yeah, I mean, the song itself is not bad at all. It's an interesting track for me. I feel like it fuses this more melodic style of music with more of a club type of production. The vocals are good by the guys, I have to say, and they stand out. And it's definitely an interesting concept to go for a young boy group. Because if I'm not mistaken, 9i has not been around for a very long time. Let me check. Yeah, I mean, they debuted in March, late, like the end of March, literally a day before April. So April, June, July, August, September, October. It's been 7 months. So it's an interesting choice, you know. You're going towards a different direction, which could pay and could not pay. But again, I like this trend. I like seeing these smaller groups do this, you know. And while, again, maybe fans are not going to like it, I appreciate the effort. It has been a theme in this video. I've said this a lot, but I like it. It's different. I think it's pretty smooth as well. It flows pretty well. You know, it never feels like there's weird interruptions where we have to have the rapping section and we have to have the chorus, we have to have the pre-chorus and the bridge, and it feels like they've done a good job in that sense in the production element and the actual cohesiveness of the song. Yeah, would have to listen to their project, because I think I didn't listen to their project when they debuted, and I assume they dropped also one with this one, and maybe I like them more. But it's weird because I thought I listened to every rookie group this year, but you know, my bad, I probably missed a couple more apart from them. But yeah, what are the more enjoyable songs from rookie groups this year? I feel like this year's rookies were not amazing, and kind of feel bad for not realizing we had another very, very interesting group. Next we have Young Jung-hyung with Kong, ex-Beast / Highlight member, who went solo when all that thing with Young Jung-hyung happened, if I'm not mistaken, years ago, during the first year of COVID. He's back. I think it was the first time he left, I'm pretty sure. He's back after 2 years, almost 3 really, with actually a good song. I really enjoyed it. You know, it felt like actually like he wanted to release music and he's happy making music. Now, I don't want to confuse him. I feel like I'm confusing with another guy, so I'm not sure if it's him that I was thinking about that whole thing with that famous guy in One Night Today's, you know, drugging girls and like abusing them and taking videos of them. I don't think anything to do with it, but I think he was in a chat and therefore people were saying, oh, he did something, but he didn't do anything. I don't know if it's him or another person, but regardless, it's like this didn't happen. I know he left Highlight some time ago, and he's good as a soloist, and he's always been a very, very talented guy, but also kind of like shy and doesn't really care about releasing music. Like, he's been always very reserved. I mean, you have to think, you know, in Korea a lot of times artists get popular just because they're in a group with other 5 guys that are way more, you know, charismatic than them, and therefore you have to be around with them and everything, and maybe you just want to make music and go home. Leo, him, there's millions of them, millions, no, but there's L from Infinite, you know, there's a lot of these people, you know, where you're just the guy who wants to make music and go home. Not everybody's like this necessarily, but, you know, to see him at least being back and making music, it's a good thing. Having said all of that, it is one of the better songs of the month until this point, I have to say. You know, it's groovy, it's fun. His vocals have improved a lot throughout the years, and I think his lyrics have always been, I think, pretty interesting for a K-pop artist. Very GD-esque in the aesthetic, in even his looks. Kind of reminds me of a Johnny Depp, Korean Johnny Depp, but the song is good, pretty good. And this is it for the first 10, 11 days of November. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna drop the same video for this second part of November. Immediately, it's gonna be less days, so I can conclude the first half of the month already. Overall, it's been way better than October already. More variety, even though there's a lot of stuff that sounds the same. In that other stuff, there's enough variety where I'm not getting cancer from listening to this stuff daily, you know. And there's enough of it where I can go listen to a solo indie artist, super popular group, less popular, rookie, female, male, rapper, non-rapper. There seems to be good variety right now, but compared to October, September, which have been the 2 worst months by far of the year, I remember complaining about March at the was it March or April? I was like March and April look like amazing months compared to this. This is not good enough for me, and it shouldn't be good enough for anybody really. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's a fine. It has been a really good year, but apart from September and October, the vast majority of months have been really good, and there was a couple of fine months in there. And it's all of that. I've enjoyed it. It was a good variety. Tell me, what were your favorites out of this batch? What were your least favorites? What is your least favorite songs you've heard? Even not necessarily that came out this month, maybe the prior months as well, or prior years, or your favorites. Let me know in the comments. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time with another video, which is probably gonna be around the 15th. You know, I'm gonna release a couple of them and see how they go. Thank you very much, and see you next time.